Happening now, an update from our web story on a toddler falling from a second-story window, some fallout on Facebook. Details coming up. The National Comedy Center announces a grand opening date.
And I'm Dakota Hunter in the First Defense Weather Center. We have a high wind warning that is currently in effect until 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And we have a chance for some severe thunderstorms pretty much later this afternoon and evening. I'll talk about it coming up.
And join our conversation. Your comments matter in our new and noteworthy segment. That's News Now for Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us. Good Tuesday to you. I'm Justin Gould. It's 39 degrees with some fog. You're looking live at the Chautauqua Lake Skycam. A rundown of all the stories you need to know is moments away. But first, we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a look at our forecast. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, good Tuesday, Justin, and good Tuesday, everybody. And boy, it's a soggy one out there, but at least it's a mild one. But the winds are really going to whip up, especially once we go throughout the pretty much throughout the evening into tomorrow. Let's go and dive and take a look at it. This is the high-res Viper radar, and you can see we have a few rain showers coming through parts of the area. Now, the good news is this rain is not especially heavy, and most of it's actually to our north and to our east. So not a whole lot there to really speak of, but again, it's a higher res radar, so you can see some of the lighter rain that's falling. And as we put this onto a time lapse, you can see here over the last 2 hours or so how the rain is kind of moving from west to east across portions of the area. So all in all, a few rain showers throughout the morning, but it will become a little bit more rainy as we go throughout the day. So the forecast for your rain showers and mild fog throughout the day, and there's a chance for a thunder shower. High range 52 right along the Lake Erie shoreline to 57 inland with a south wind of 6 to 14, but that wind really picks up tonight going into tomorrow. We'll break down that along with that quick solution 7-day in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Dakota, thank you. A 3-year-old toddler fell out of a second-story window on Monday afternoon at a house on West 8th Street. Scanner audio obtained by WNY News Now indicated that police arrived before paramedics and found the child conscious and alert. The toddler was transported to UPMC Chautauqua WCA Hospital. Neighbor Janet Farron claims that there are several children living in the home.
The little girl fell out the window. We don't know how. But cops has been here numerous times. They're drug addicts. I've lived here for six months. And they do the dope, the drugs, and they don't watch the children. It is. It's sad. That someone can't take care of their kids. I got 6 grandkids I watch.
Are you angry?
Yes, I am. If she has like 4 or 5 kids, I'm not for sure. But I got 6 grandkids here, a year and a half, and if I can watch my children, my grandchildren, 6 of them all at once, I think that they need to take hers because my grandkids ain't even allowed outside unless I'm out here or upstairs or anything. And I am angry. Yes, I am.
Now, the mother of the toddler took to her Facebook page after hearing the criticism from her neighbor, saying, quote, "My son is fine and I was cleaning downstairs. His dad was on his way to work and the windows are normally locked and that doesn't help when he knows how to unlock them. I don't know why I have to justify myself besides that everyone is perfect until it happens to them. But he is a very busy 3, almost 4-year-old. How about all you passing judgment? Look at yourself. And I don't do drugs. The neighbor is just an attention seeker. She knows nothing of my home." So now we're asking, what do you think? Join the conversation in the comments down below, and we'll talk more about this story in our new and noteworthy segment coming up in 5 minutes. In other news, Jamestown police say that a 36-year-old man, Jeremy Gross, was seen exiting a residence on Delaware Avenue shortly before 3 yesterday. Authorities say they were conducting surveillance in the area when they witnessed the man leave the house. Now, back in March, JPD arrested Gross with nearly 4 grams of methamphetamine when a taxi cab he was riding in was pulled over. Jamestown police officers were assisted in yesterday's arrest by Lakewood Bustye Police. Gross is being held at City Jail, where he's scheduled to be arraigned at some point today. And the National Comedy Center will celebrate its grand opening in the first week of August. That's in sync with their annual Lucille Ball Comedy Festival. The news was sent out via media release on Monday. The new attraction is described as a 37,000 square foot building designed with more than 50 immersive interactive exhibits. The Comedy Center is estimated to cost $50 million. Now, on Friday, U.S. Senator Charles Schumer announced he would introduce a resolution to the Senate that would make the National Comedy Center the official place of comedy in the United States. And a Western New York science expert is weighing in on a Chinese space station that crashed into the Pacific Ocean on Monday. Science communicator for the Buffalo Museum of Science, Sarah Jane Gomuk-Green, told us that that sleepy space station posed little threat to Americans on the ground.
From 2013, it was put into sleep mode, and it completely ran out of fuel in 2016. So really, it's been up there in the atmosphere, or I guess in orbit, just kind of waiting to going through the motions until it lost momentum and was brought down. They thought it was going to actually crash down a lot sooner than it did. There is a lot of stuff out there that could come down. Most of it does get destroyed, because when you come from space and enter the atmosphere, just the friction of the air pretty much burns everything up.
And the craft was launched in September of 2011 as a prototype for China's ultimate space goal of a permanent station. That's expected to be launched around 2022. The Chinese government told the UN last May that its science lab had ceased functionality in March of 2016. Now, scientists have been concerned in the past about floating objects in space coming back to Earth, although they say those incidents are few and far between.
Me whenever. I'm gonna try to snort this. Ow.
Well, that looked painful. Viral videos just like that one on YouTube have been circulating and shared thousands of times nationwide, showing teenagers and young adults snorting condoms. The most recent challenge included the Tide Pod Challenge and the Carolina Reaper Challenge. Experts say that while they're ingesting Tide Pods can be poisonous, the most likely result from putting a condom up your nose is throwing up whatever you ate for dinner. Still wouldn't recommend it. Coming up on the other side, we're hearing from you. Let us know what you think about the stories that we just talked about and more in our new and noteworthy segment right after this. Stay with us.
WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3355 in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at PhoneZoneShop.com. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to News Now. It's time to hear from you in our new and noteworthy segment. Ryan joins us now. Hot out of the newsroom. You have a lot of stories you're working on today. You want to scoot a little bit closer to me, obviously. There we go.
That?
Yeah, they changed our camera angles overnight a
All right,
touch.
real quick,
but
let's kill the nice talk. There is a breaking story we're working out of. This actually makes me pretty sick. I hate to editorialize stories.
Mm-hmm.
A dog was found hanging from a tree on Halleck and Palmer last night shortly before 8 p.m. Our news editor, Matt Hummel's working on getting more details. Jamestown Police Captain Robert Samuelson did confirm that the call came in, and he's going to put out a short informational to try to find the owner. This is a disgusting turn of events. And I will say, I lived next to a dog fighting ring in Southeast Washington, D.C. for a couple of years, and this is how they punish their dogs. They punish their dogs by not... If dogs are bred sometimes to fight, especially pit bulls, especially red-nosed pit bulls. Anybody out there that's listening that can attest to this, comment in the below in the box. But if the dogs don't win, they're then killed because they're no good to the dog fighting ring. And I don't think I'm speculating when I say if this was indeed a pit bull,
Right.
that he may have been killed because he didn't win a fight.
Now, we originally got this tip from a community reporter. I'm not going to give out his name necessarily, but he lives near where the dog was found.
The police actually knocked on his door
last night, and certainly unsettling for him. I mean, if the police came to my door to tell me, ask me what's going on with this dog hanging from a tree, I mean, I feel sick now just thinking about my pets.
This is just sick. I mean, anybody that's a pet lover, and everybody on our staff loves pets. We have a news hound in the newsroom for a good portion of our week, for heaven's sakes, that we love and covet. I mean, this dog is near and dear to all of our hearts, including the owners. And, you know, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's not just a Jamestown thing, although the disgust and the infiltration of active addiction is getting closer and closer to each and every one of our doorsteps. You know, and I think that is the biggest thing that we have to take away from this, because when it gets down to it, this is active addiction at its worst. You can say anything you want to say about the owner missing in action. The owner's probably a dog fighter, and this is a disgusting person. They're just going to get a slap on the wrist. Unfortunately, murdering a dog isn't like murdering a human.
Right.
However, this says so much more than just gross negligence of the owner. This says that there's probably a dogfighting ring or many dogfighting rings in the area. And dogfighting rings are synonymous. I don't have to go to a law enforcement source to tell you this. Dogfighting rings are synonymous with drug dealing rings and drug cartels.
Right.
And if you don't think the drug cartel is alive and well in Jamestown, look at the crystal methamphetamine they're seizing from the streets. Chief Snellings has said time and time again, this is the finished product. The finished product doesn't mean it's coming out of your bathtub on the corner of Halleck and Palmer. It means it's coming from southern part of this country, from Mexico.
And it just goes to show you, you know, George Borrello has been fighting for an animal abuse law in the county.
Right.
You know, whether you're an animal lover or not, these are beings that are alive.
Right.
And you know, they have feelings too.
Right.
So, you know, and the status of that bill is it's kind of tabled until they can rework some of the language that's related to farmers,
you know,
because the animals are almost like a product, so to speak. But for the instance of this dog, and obviously we're still working right now to learn more. We're you know, going to feverishly get that breaking report up on our website.
I think we have it out on the website right now. If you go to WNY News Now, again, you can go to many places for news in this community, but it's first, it's fast, it's accurate. Head to WNY News Now. 24/7, 365. Do we have it up yet?
We don't. We still have that culture.
Matt's still working to confirm some of the details, but again, this just coming in, a dog was found hung from a tree in the area of Halleck and Palmer Streets, and you're going to see it on WNY News Now, I would imagine, in about 5 minutes. The dog is described as a pit bull. Jamestown police confirm that they are looking to find the owner. Once they find the owner, I would assume charges will be brought. I don't know. But again, if you missed my diatribe at the start of this segment, a dead dog hanging from a tree indicates that there is a dog fighting ring in that area. Now, we have received reports and speculation about cockfighting rings. Dog fighting rings are nothing new. Right. And amongst the criminal element, you're talking about dogfighting rings being closely associated with heavy drug trafficking, cartels, and gang members. So
now my question is, do the police, obviously they probably don't dedicate as much resources as they would do if a human, right? Do you know, in your reporting experience, have you ever come across something like this?
Yeah,
where, I mean, do they investigate it the same?
yeah, well, dogfighting rings are investigated by feds, the
Okay.
FBI, the DEA, because they're so closely associated with drug trafficking rings.
Okay.
Most times what you will find is you will find a dogfighting ring to be closely associated with a gang that traffics heavy amounts of drugs. So if you do indeed find that ring, then you find the drug ring, then you could bring them down one and the same. So
Right.
I think we're a little past weather. Why don't we go to Dakota Hunter standing by?
We'll go to a commercial,
Okay.
and we'll be right back with a look at Dakota's weather. Again, conversations all up to you. Smathers, again, joining us today. If people clearly don't treat infants, children, and other human beings, hashtag humane, pets have a zero chance. And again, lots of big stories that we're following. So on the other side, Dakota's forecast, and then we'll be back with your comments after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
It's tax time, so get to Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown for all of your vehicle needs. Service, inspection, vehicle sales, they do it all. For all of your automotive, motorcycle, and ATV service needs, Express Bike and Auto even offers financing. Your true one-stop vehicle shop is Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. They're located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension next to Quick Fill. Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. Stop looking, start saving today.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
Now, your First Defense Forecast with Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back to News Now. Now let's kick off this weather segment with the Doppler vision radar. You can see this is the live sweep coming around, and there's not really a whole lot out there. Now a lot of the rain has started fizzling out, or that it's actually gone to the east now, but there will be some more rain coming our way back to our west. And so there's going to be some more rain today, but at least it will be mild, but it also becomes windier tonight and tomorrow. Let's go to the watches and warnings, which is on the main graphic system. And you can see here now the National Weather Service has upgraded that high wind watch to a high wind warning for pretty much the southern tier. That's all these counties shaded in this lighter yellow mustard color. That actually starts tonight, and that goes until 8 a.m. on 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and that's the high wind warning. Now, the high wind watch is still in effect for areas eastward. The winds out to the east will still be strong, but not as strong as they will to the west. So if you live in the western portion of western New York, you're under a high wind warning. If you're out to the east, you're still under that high wind watch. But things will be changing, and again, the winds will still be strong out there, but again, it's still a matter of how strong the winds will be. Live look outside downtown Jamestown from the HD News Now cam. You can see not a whole lot of stuff going on out there. It's just mostly cloudy right now. And the current numbers at the airport, it's 36 degrees. We have a wind chill of 32, and you combine it with that southeast wind of 5. And look at the dew point, 36 and 36. So we obviously have fog that's being reported there as well. That is obviously creating a 5-mile visibility because of the light fog that is out there. Now I actually threw this out on our Facebook page this morning that the Storm Prediction Center has clipped this southernmost portion of western New York under a less than average marginal risk. That's this dark green color. And this basically includes places like Jamestown, Dunkirk, Westfield, Silver Creek, anywhere in here. Also, it includes Olean as well, but it doesn't include the city of Buffalo. You can see kind of where the boundary is. And this is that less than average marginal risk, and that is mainly for the potential for gusty winds. So here comes the first First Defense on basically everything you're going to need to know for today. So we have that marginal risk. Now the main timing for the storms is going to be very late this afternoon going into this evening and tonight. That's when the winds really start to increase as a strong cold front will start to push our way. And actually throughout the night tonight, the temperatures actually may rise a couple of degrees pretty much by morning, because of course temperatures are always warmer ahead of a cold front. So again, temperatures will probably rise throughout the overnight a couple of degrees. Wind gusts could probably reach around 65 miles per hour, and of course that will obviously down some trees and some power lines and cause some minor property damage. And again, it's mainly a wind threat with these storms, and as you can see here, these are the overall impacts that we're expecting. Little to no tornado threat here, and again, having tornadoes this time of the year pretty much in our area is very hard to do because of, basically, well, anyway. Doesn't matter. Moving on. Basically, you can see the wind here, pretty much around 60 miles per hour, probably around dime-size hail, so not a whole lot of hail expected out of that, and maybe some localized flooding, but I don't expect that because the rains won't be especially heavy. And again, this is a very low-end threat. So again, we're not, too positive that we're going to see severe weather, but there is at least a light threat that we will see some. Here we go with Future Scan. You can see the model is picking up on that rain that we had throughout the area. Then it starts to taper off, and now here comes that next batch of rain coming in pretty much for the afternoon. And then as we go into tonight, here's when that cold front will start to push in from the west. And of course, here comes some more rain. And this is probably right around that time frame when we're going to start seeing probably some stronger storms. And it's mainly, again, going to be that wind threat as we go throughout the day. And again, this is going throughout the morning hours. You can see the rain will start to increase probably by about midnight. Then the rain will continue. Take a look at what happens as the cold front sweeps through. We get this white stuff coming in, that's snow. So rain will change over to snow pretty much throughout the morning hours, and then that looks like that'll continue throughout tomorrow. So rain early in the morning tomorrow, then changing to all snow as that cold front works its way through. So pretty much, town by town for tomorrow. These are the early morning highs. These high temperatures are going to occur early in the morning, probably around 42, 43 degrees inland, probably right around 40 near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, but temperatures will fall down into the lower 30s and probably some upper 20s near the Lake Erie shoreline by the afternoon. Rain changes to snow. So again, temperatures go back the opposite direction. Look at the wind, southwest 35 to 45, gusts around 55 or 65 miles per hour as well. So you need to hang on to your hats and batten down those hatches because it will be windy. How about the next 7 days of your life that are coming up, brought to you by Quick Solutions? And 36 will be the high on Thursday. We bring in a few snow showers as well, and boy, it just does not get any better from there. We're still stuck into the 30s throughout the remainder of the week, but we do make it to at least 41 degrees on Monday, but we should be around 49 degrees this time of the year. Ouch, right? Actually, we will be right back right after the break.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day.
I sat down with the candidate following last night's meeting, an interview you will only see on WNY News Now.
Small, proud, and dedicated community that is shocked, angered, sad.
The old Dunkirk City School building has been remodeled and retrofitted with 21st century technology.
Feel demoralized in a sense by the power structure?
I don't really know. I mean, maybe, but there's just not a lot of information, I guess, to change some things, I suppose.
Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is in the nation's capital right now, advocating for several water projects in the county.
This ban will ultimately lay down some more snow our way over the next 24 or so hours. Now, zooming the radar out.
WNY News Now. where coverage comes first. Breaking news on WNY News Now.
And welcome back to News Now. Police discovered a deceased dog hanging from a tree near the intersection of Halleck and Palmer Streets last night. Here's a map of the area where police say that they found the dog. Captain Robert Samuelson telling us that he's going to release more information on this in the coming hour here as they search for the dog's owner. Now, we must say that this story was tipped off to WNY News Now from a community reporter. That program is sponsored by Jeremy's Bellevue. If you have a breaking story tip you want us to know about, let us know. And we had a discussion about this earlier on the show, just sickening. And as we move throughout the next 24, 48 hours, as police work to find more details when they release it, we'll let you know.
We're going to go to that neighborhood after the show, immediately after the show, and seek answers. And I don't know where to start with this line of questioning for the neighbors, but I can tell you this. It is my experience that finding a dog hanging from a tree is not only cruel, and it doesn't always speak to the sanity of the owner or person that was charged with overseeing the dog, but it does speak to a dog fighting ring. And dog fighting rings are closely associated with drug trafficking rings. Again, this is going on in this community, and yes, it is true. Patricia Harley weighs in, killing dogs should be a felony. It's animal abuse, justice for the dog. I absolutely agree. But again, society doesn't look at dogs and humans the same.
Yeah.
We don't treat them the same. And there's a level of cruelty that it takes to strap a dog up to a tree. To me, this is more of a, not a symbolic thing. They're trying to make a statement to somebody. And they're trying to make a statement, in this case, I believe, they're trying to make a statement to the dog fighting ring to say, this is what happens when your dogs lose the fight.
Right. And again, we don't know that to be true 100%, whether this was a dog fighting ring.
We don't, but I'm willing to bet a large
and there's
sum
a
of my
lot of
career on
things
this.
going on in this city that a lot of people don't know about.
Well, they don't want to acknowledge them.
Right. So, either way, I know for the community reporter who tipped us off, I mean, you could tell by his writing. It's obviously hard to judge a text message, but if I was in his shoes, I'd be so concerned, especially for my own pets.
We have more comments than this because this is the second time we've seen Smathers Raymond comment.
She commented twice, it looks like.
We have a lot of comments on the page that I want to get to. Marina Smith, let's get the FBI here. I've got news for you, Marina. They're already here. They are already here, as evidenced by they've conducted, 2 or 3 raids in the last couple of months. Plus, I saw Agent Brent Isaacson in Chautauqua, last week we were there covering the Gerasi story, and they're here. They have an office here. They know full well what's going on.
And we'll continue this conversation online at WNYNewsNow.com, where you can find the latest details. In the meantime, Jay's writing about it's not spring, it's winter. It's Sprinter. Dakota, have you heard that before?
Actually, I have heard that before. But, it's just Western New York. It's Western New York weather. And, we all know that this time of the year can be very interesting. It's sort of like how March can have very interesting, things on our weather. This can also have interesting things on our weather. Let's take a look at that Quick Solution 7-day one final time. And you can see 55 degrees for today, nice and mild, but rain showers will be the story. Now, the rain really picks up pretty much tonight going into tomorrow, and winds tomorrow probably around 65 miles per hour as well. So there is a high wind warning in effect for that. And then the temperatures really go back down into the 30s for the remainder of the week. So, ouch. Just cold weather.
Full weather details online at WNYNewsNow.com. That's it for us today. For more on all these stories we just talked about, WNYNewsNow.com is the place to be. The conversation continues tomorrow at noon. We'll see you then.